I'm just brunette because of the books.
Everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
Well, I met Blake. I worked with her husband Ryan several years ago, so I met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. We got the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
She got a few of them.
Come on.
Blake Lively's castmates have officially distanced themselves, and the fallout is messy. Colleen Hoover made a surprising move, and now Brendan Scannell and Isabella Ferrer are keeping their distance, like they no longer want to be linked to the chaos. It's becoming clear they may have backed the wrong star. Blake's once flawless reputation is taking a hit, and the silence from her co-stars speaks volumes. The Golden Girl shine might be fading fast.
Now the interview from Blake Lively's past that's come back to haunt her. She and her co-star Parker Posey are being accused of being so difficult that the reporter says she almost changed careers. Now Lisa Guerrero is speaking with that reporter who was at the receiving end of the actresses who are now being called mean girls.
Talk about awkward.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
It made me want to quit my job. I felt really horrible afterwards.
Blake Lively's carefully crafted image is in pieces, years of perfection undone. Let's break it down. First, Brandon Scannell, who plays Atlas, Lily's childhood love, has been off promoting Star 1923 Star and minding his own business. But suddenly, he's thrown into the drama everyone's buzzing about, the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni scandal. All eyes turn to him for a reaction. His silence? Telling. It's clear even he doesn't want to be pulled into the mess.
Blake Lively's It Ends With Us co-star Brandon Scannell breaks his silence on her allegations against Justin Baldoni. The actor is weighing in after Blake filed a legal complaint against Justin, accusing him of engaging in sexually inappropriate behavior on the set of the film.
And the way Brandon dodged that question? Olympic-level evasion. He did everything but give a straight answer. Instead, he hit us with the classic PR fluff. I just want people to remember why we made the movie, followed by a whole lot of vague, scripted talk. But let's be honest, when someone avoids a question that hard, they definitely know something and just don't want to get caught in the fallout. And honestly, hasn't this been Justin Baldoni's entire playbook from the start? Ever since he scooped up the rights to the book, it's been all smoke and mirrors. Even at the movie premiere, when the rest of the cast, Brandon included, were dressed in florals and showing a united front for Blake, the real focus should have been the heart of the story, Justin's vision. But now Brandon's just recycling Justin's words, acting like he's offering some new insight. In reality, it's the same tired PR script that's been running since day one. This film was supposed to matter. It was meant to make an impact, especially for those who've lived through domestic violence. It was a chance to tell a powerful story. But somewhere along the way, that message got lost in the noise.
It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
We have a few more characters already in the beginning of the first season that come in and mess up our lives even more. We start in the Hamptons, which is a staple of New York socialites that you haven't yet seen. And, you know, we all kind of dated each other, so we have to date more people or each other's parents. And
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
The way Brandon dodged that question? Olympic-level evasion. He did everything except give a straight answer. Instead, we got the usual PR-safe fluff. I just want people to remember why we made the movie, followed by a bunch of scripted filler. But let's be real. When someone avoids a question that hard, they definitely know more than they're letting on and don't want to get caught in the fallout. And honestly, hasn't this been Justin Baldoni's entire strategy since he first grabbed the rights to the book? Even at the movie premiere, the whole cast, Brandon included, showed up in coordinated florals, putting on a united front around Blake. But instead of centering the actual message of the film, everything became about image, optics, and Blake. Now Brandon's parroting Justin's old talking points, pretending he's offering something new when it's the same recycled script we've been hearing since day one. This movie was supposed to mean something. It was meant to be powerful, especially for those who've experienced domestic violence. It should have been a story that resonated with survivors. But somewhere along the way, that purpose got buried. The cast got swept up in the drama, the behind-the-scenes mess, and the brand deals, like Blake pushing her overpriced, ineffective shampoo, as if that was the real focus. Instead of standing by the story's heart, they picked sides and fueled the chaos, and now that the damage is done, and the backlash is rolling in, now they suddenly remember what the movie was really about? The timing couldn't be more transparent. Thankfully, Gayle King wasn't playing along with the fluff. She cut straight to the truth and asked the question on everyone's mind. Was Brandon Team Blake or Team Justin? He had to make a choice, and his answer spoke volumes. Asterisk, I'm Team Asterisk, it ends with us. /*, he said. That one line said everything. It was the clearest sign yet that the cast has jumped ship. They might not be shouting, asterisk, we're with Justin, asterisk, but they're definitely not backing Blake anymore. They're playing the neutrality card now, which, honestly, is what they should have done from the beginning. But if you don't see how major this shift is, let's rewind for a second. Back in December 2024, Brandon wasn't just supporting Blake. He was all in. He was loud, proud, and riding hard for her. He reposted her legal complaint against Justin on Instagram, added a heart emoji, and basically told everyone to believe Blake. No questions asked. He made his stance very clear. And now, crickets, and all more public defenses. No more bold declarations. The same guy who once stood 10 toes down for Blake is now dodging questions and hiding behind neutral statements. And people are noticing. Because a switch up this drastic doesn't just happen for no reason. Something shifted, and fans want to know what really went down.
Are you Team Blake or Team Justin? He said, I don't speak English, Gayle.
I'm team it ends with us. It's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets convoluted, and I just want to remind people of why that thing exists in the first place.
Heartless.
It ends with us drama. Brandon Sklenar and Isabella Ferrer quietly step back from Blake Lively. Brandon Sklenar, one of the stars of It Ends With Us, was once one of Blake Lively's most vocal supporters after she accused their co-star and director, Justin Baldoni, of sexual assault and misconduct. He didn't hesitate. Sklenar publicly backed Lively on Instagram, posting her legal complaint against Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios, tagging her, adding a heart emoji, and practically urging his followers to take her side. It was loud, public, and passionate. But here's the thing about Hollywood. Loyalty is fleeting, and tides turn fast. At first, it looked like a slam dunk. Blake Lively was the bigger name, the household star. When she came forward swinging with accusations, most of the industry, including her castmates, seemed to rally behind her without hesitation. It looked like a no-brainer. But as the dust began to settle and people started digging into the actual facts, everything changed. The public began questioning the narrative. Just because someone is beloved doesn't mean they're automatically telling the truth. And as more evidence surfaced, especially in Justin Baldoni's countersuit, people started second-guessing their initial reactions. Even Blake's own co-stars seemed to be wondering if they jumped in too fast, which brings us back to Brandon Sklenar. The man who once posted hearts in solidarity is now eerily quiet. His bold allegiance has been replaced with vague, neutral statements. And let's be real, Hollywood's version of neutrality usually means one thing. I'm waiting to see who comes out on top. When the stakes are this high, no one wants to bet on the wrong horse. Sklenar, along with the rest of the cast, has clearly read Baldoni's legal response, and suddenly, nobody's riding for Blake the way they once did. Brandon's shift hasn't gone unnoticed. When someone makes a public declaration of support, especially in a situation this serious, the public expects consistency. This halfway pivot, this careful treading of the middle line, is only raising more eyebrows. Either he stands by his original stance, or he distances himself completely. But trying to do both just makes it worse. And the court of public opinion. Once you pick a side, there's no undoing it. And like it or not, Brandon's name is now tied to this mess. People won't forget that he publicly helped push a narrative that may turn out to be false. The internet certainly won't. And the question that will follow him is simple. Why did he try to help take down a potentially innocent man? But Sklenar isn't the only one backtracking. Isabella Ferrer, who plays young Lily in the film, has also gone noticeably silent. Early on, she was right there beside Blake, offering her support and echoing her energy during promotional rounds. But now? No posts. No comments. No more waving the Blake Lively flag, and we all know how this usually goes. When people start backing away quietly, it often means they know something the public doesn't. Ferrer's name appears in both Blake and Justin's lawsuits, and according to Baldoni's legal team, the receipts are damning. In texts allegedly sent by Ferrer to Baldoni, she praised his directing, thanked him for the opportunity, and called the set a *safe, comfortable environment. She wrote that the experience would stay with her forever. She even called him smart and sincere. So what changed? Baldoni's lawsuit claims everything was fine until Isabella began spending more time with Blake during the promotional phase. That's when her attitude allegedly shifted, and suddenly, she stopped acknowledging Baldoni altogether. And let's not forget the telling moment at the It Ends With Us premiere. Ferrer gave an interview gushing over Blake. She said how lucky she felt to even be in her presence. And her outfit? Every single piece, from the floral dress to the jewelry and shoes, was Blake Lively-approved. So where is that energy now? In Hollywood, silence speaks volumes. And in this case, the silence is deafening. The ones who once stood shoulder to shoulder with Blake are stepping back, and fast. The only question now is whether more of the cast will follow suit. Because if this trend continues, it's not just a PR problem, it's a reckoning.
You've got two nice.
Really quick, It Ends With Us. We're so excited. What can you tell us?
This is Atlas and Lily. That's what I'll tell you. So the movie comes out in 3 weeks, and it's actually
Yeah. And you know, working in digital.
Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would. I love Jesse's suits.
The boots were mine. There's these great Louboutins that are also a close-up on them when we're dancing in the bar. Those are mine. I have a few of my husband's shirts and socks randomly in the movie. I have some of Gigi Hadid's sweaters in the movie.
The chemistry with Justin also was off the charts. I mean, really, truly,
really important. You're supposed to, tell a story well and make people feel, but you're also supposed to do it in a way that,
This is your night, mister.
No, this isn't my night. This is a night for all the women who we made this movie for. This is a night for Blake. This is a night for Colleen.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful that we're here.
Well, you're not going to sing if you
I
didn't think you can sing.
I sang in this movie.
Well,
you see the movie.
I did see the movie. But I mean,
you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but like we didn't have any budget. So there were. So I'll start here. Okay. And it's dry shampoo, but really, it smells amazing, but it also gives you like a nice smell. So I like to do a little bit more at the back, like a little bit of the.
right now. We help each other. We work together so much. So the iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you now.
Understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you. What's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
The power play behind the It Ends With Us fallout. Blake, Taylor, and Hollywood influence ***, someone roll the footage, because here's the real kicker. Isabella Ferrer didn't just stick by Blake Lively out of loyalty. She had to. And now we know why. According to multiple insiders, Blake made it very clear that Isabella only landed the role of young Lily because Taylor Swift pulled strings on her behalf. But plot twist, that wasn't entirely true. So, was Isabella playing along out of fear? Or did she get caught up in something much bigger than she ever realized? Let's be honest, Blake didn't just go after Justin Baldoni. She had the entire cast, including Baldoni himself, wrapped around her finger. It wasn't just about accusations, it was about control. Whether she meant to or not, the dynamic on set shifted dramatically under her influence. And yes, Taylor Swift's name absolutely played a role in that power structure. Meanwhile, Isabella Ferrer has gone completely silent since Baldoni started dropping receipts. And it's becoming increasingly obvious that Brandon Sklenar, Isabella, and the rest didn't initially back Blake because they fully believed her. They did it because it was the safe move. In Hollywood, the optics of not supporting a woman, especially in a case involving serious accusations, can be career-ending. Nobody wants to be labeled unsupportive or complicit. But now that people are realizing this situation isn't as black and white as it first appeared, Brandon isn't about to go down with the ship. Another issue now taking center stage? Just how much sway Blake had over the cast. It's becoming crystal clear that she wielded far more influence than Justin Baldoni ever could. If anything, Baldoni knew he had to tread carefully. His career was on the line if he didn't play nice with Blake, and that's exactly why we ended up with Ryan Reynolds' version of the infamous rooftop scene in the film. Because let's face it, going against Blake doesn't just mean going against Blake. It means going against Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, two of the most powerful names in entertainment. These are people who can greenlight projects, cancel deals, or sideline a career with one phone call. There's a reason Blake made sure they were part of the equation. So when people say the cast is waiting to see how this plays out, what they really mean is they're being strategic. They're trying to survive this storm with their reputations intact, making sure they'll still be in Hollywood's good graces once the dust settles. And honestly, can you even blame them?
I'm not getting beard on you today.
And says, am I getting beard on you?
It smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup. Right. And then says, it smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big harassment moment. They are playfully acting for the camera, trying to make it look like two lovers, two people in a relationship are dancing with one another. She's giggling. She's holding his hands. They are not speaking as their characters because the sound was not going to be used in the film, but they are in character in the way, obviously Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are not choosing to hold hands and nuzzle each other and act and behave as lovers in front of this room full of people. They're doing that because they are in character and they are trying to make it look for the camera like they love each other. She's completely flirtatious with him. He is flirtatious back, but they're talking about their spouses and it's all in good fun. She laughs.
Hollywood fallout. Blake Lively's inner circle cracks as Leslie Sloan tries to jump ship in Hollywood. Going against the machine is like signing your own career's death sentence. One wrong move, and you're out. Just ask Diddy. Once untouchable, now watching his empire collapse. And now, it seems Blake Lively is next in line. Her carefully constructed world is unraveling fast. Brandon Sklenar's recent shift in tone speaks volumes. Blake no longer has the backing she thought she did. Her once solid support system is cracking fast. First, Colleen Hoover distanced herself, and now Brandon and Isabella Ferrer are slowly stepping away, clearly realizing they may have backed the wrong side. Let's face it, Hollywood is a ruthless game of alliances, and Blake's are vanishing. And trust, this is only the beginning of the fallout. A shocking development. Even Blake's own publicist, Leslie Sloan, is trying to cut ties. That's right, Sloan has formally requested to be removed from the lawsuit entirely. But let's be real, it's far too late for that. She's already knee-deep in the chaos. So, how did Leslie Sloan, one of Hollywood's most powerful publicists, end up in this mess? According to Justin Baldoni's legal team, she wasn't just a publicist, she was the architect behind the scenes. For years, Sloan has built a reputation as Hollywood's ultimate fixer, known for cleaning up elite scandals, reshaping public narratives, and shielding A-listers from fallout. When Blake decided she wanted Justin taken down, Leslie allegedly sprang into action. And now, the consequences are finally catching up with her. Sources close to the case claim Sloan orchestrated a full-on cover-up to protect Blake, from silencing whistleblowers to discrediting Baldoni and manipulating press coverage. The receipts? Leaked emails and messages that allegedly show Sloan working overtime to shift the narrative in Blake's favor, all while framing Baldoni as the villain. And this wasn't a reactive PR scramble. According to insiders, it was a premeditated campaign. Reports now suggest the damning New York Times article about Baldoni was the final piece of a long-planned smear strategy, one that Sloan allegedly helped coordinate behind the scenes. It's not just about protecting a client anymore. It's about weaponizing influence, pulling strings, and trying to erase accountability. And now that things aren't going as planned, Leslie wants out. But it's too late. Her name is already entangled in every part of this. An anonymous source even claimed Leslie knew exactly what she was doing. She'd throw anyone under the bus to protect Blake's image. And if the evidence holds up, Sloan may not just be facing professional embarrassment, she could be the next big Hollywood scandal. Once seen as the gatekeeper of celebrity image, Leslie Sloan is now being painted as the mastermind of a calculated takedown. And suddenly, her power isn't looking so invincible. One thing's for sure, the industry is watching closely. Because if Leslie Sloan can fall, no one is safe.
She laughs and says, oh, did you get beard on me? She doesn't say, oh my God, you nuzzled me and said that I smell good. This is what she's done throughout. She said he came in my trailer while I was breastfeeding. Well, then he produced the text messages showing her saying, I'm breastfeeding, come on over. She, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger. She accused his producing partner of showing her pornography. Then they produced in his lawsuit against her a picture of the alleged pornography. And it was a beautiful, artistic, absolutely non-pornographic shot of his business partner and his wife with their newborn baby in a bathtub after a bathtub birth, an at-home birth, holding one another. You can't see any body parts. You can just see that two people clearly are in a bathtub holding their baby. Here's yet another one. She wants us to believe this is actionable harassment, what we just witnessed there. You tell me whether that's what that looks like to you. Well, so now I said that they had written to the Human Rights Office in California. Let me correct that. It's to the United States District Court in the Southern District of New York, where she filed her lawsuit against him. There's cross lawsuits by each saying this is all retaliatory. All of his leaks to the media are retaliatory and asking the court to shut him and Brian Friedman up, saying this must be shut down because they're trying to try this case in the media. The only reason this whole thing got started before she filed the lawsuit, she just went to the California Human Rights Office, is because she clearly cooperated with the New York Times to leak the whole thing. Indeed, that's, Brian argues, the reason she went and filed the complaint.
Hollywood reckoning. Blake Lively, Leslie Sloan, and the fallout they didn't see coming. Funny how quickly things unravel. Unlike Brandon Sklenar, who's now tiptoeing away from the chaos, Leslie Sloan doesn't get to quietly exit stage left. She's locked into this lawsuit, like it or not. Not only is she being forced to testify, but she's about to burn through all the money Blake Lively paid her just to cover her own mounting legal fees. And here's the real kicker. Sloan is actually trying to make Justin Baldoni pay for her legal costs. Yes, you read that right. After allegedly orchestrating a full-blown smear campaign against him, she now wants him to foot the bill for the fallout. It's wild, and it speaks volumes about how upside down this situation has become. But at this point, the truth is becoming impossible to ignore. Justin Baldoni was set up. Despite the false accusations, the hit pieces, and the calculated damage to his reputation, he stood his ground. He didn't crumble. He didn't play the victim. He refused to be just another casualty in Hollywood's ruthless power games. And now, the tides are turning. The cast is jumping ship. The industry is rethinking its stance. And the people who once blindly backed Blake are slowly coming to terms with the reality. They were played. And let's face it, nothing angers the public more than realizing they've been manipulated. Speaking of panic, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are scrambling. Their legal team is in full-blown damage control, desperately trying to get Justin's $400 million defamation lawsuit dismissed before it spirals even further out of their control. They've already filed a motion to shut it down, hoping to stop the bleeding. But let's be honest, it reeks of desperation. This isn't just another PR fire to extinguish. This is a full-blown legal storm, and no amount of spin is going to make it disappear. Blake still doesn't seem to grasp the gravity of the situation. She's reportedly acting like she's on a press tour, not in the middle of a legal war. At one point, she even suggested she might refuse to sit for a deposition if Justin's attorney, Brian Friedman, was present. But newsflash, that's not how this works. Legal experts have already laughed off the suggestion, calling it delusional. No judge is going to let her dictate terms like it's a Vanity Fair interview. Meanwhile, Justin's image is only gaining strength. Stories are surfacing about his real character, how he once opened his home to someone who lost everything in the California wildfires. That's the kind of man people are rallying behind now, and in Blake's camp, it's pure chaos. Damage control mode has taken over. Everyone, from cast members to PR reps, is trying to protect their own brand, distancing themselves from Blake as fast as possible. But let's be real, the damage is already done. And if this case moves forward as expected, they're all in for a rude awakening. So now I want to hear from you. Are people finally seeing through Blake Lively's manipulation? Or is there more to the story we haven't uncovered yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and keep it locked right here. This drama is far from over, and trust me, it's only getting messier.
Stay tuned.